Everybody's got their fucking tablets up.
Well, I'm looking for something to talk about. I mean, I have a funny story, and that's it.
Well, that's usually what you work with, and then provide color commentary on everyone else's.
That's true.
Welcome to the SMAGcast number 15.
Oh, you're recording?
Yeah? I'm not ready.
I'm Kevin Heyman, creator of the Errand Apprentice and Coda's World. I am a webcomic artist and a graphic designer. Next to me is...
Hello, my name is Warren, and I'm still alive.
Yay.
I'm Mike, the creator of many poops, and
Are those small poops?
oh, they're
numerous.
usually they're numerous and frequent.
You see, Mike poops like a rabbit. And it's these little pellets.
No, but I did see
Some more water in your
I
diet.
did see a YouTube video of some woman. No, it's a YouTube
Should
video.
we
It was
be talking about
it's
this?
an animated GIF of a woman peeking her head out from between horses' legs, going.
I've seen that.
And she gets just crapped on.
Well, she goes out and you can see her clearly mouth peekaboo, and then just shit.
The horse tail moves out of the way,
and then
just like
there's one plop, and then it rains horse shit on her
like
head.
someone dumped a bucket of dirt on her head, except it was horse crap.
Beautiful.
Cool. Okay, and I'm Paul.
Following up the poop joke is Paul.
Following up the poop joke is
Paul
poop joke
follows everything up the pooper.
Absolutely.
She went up the pooper. I'll be back.
I got a flashlight and a helmet.
You know.
All
case of
right.
Love.
So, how's everybody been doing?
Warren?
I'm alive.
Okay.
Great.
For what people don't know, Warren actually went to space. He had a little bit of trouble with re-entry, but he's alive.
Yes. Mike, how are you?
Well-
What have you been up to?
Well, according to my boss and my roommates, I'm the awesomest person on the world. Or in the world. On the planet. on the planet or in the world. One of
In
those.
the world, he's actually
Take block.
In the,
It's like
yeah.
3 miles down.
Deep within the planet.
In the world, Mike is awesome. So,
Okay, why?
well, my boss at work the other day said he wished he had 5 of me. And I told him, well, give cloning a few more years.
This is a sexual thing.
Clearly.
Because apparently everyone
I won't
else up
fire
there is
you,
a
I could just-
fucktard.
Each
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
My roommates are, I just moved for those for those of you listening at home or in the car.
So, everyone with your Mike bingo cards, please color in the moved square.
Yes. But I moved recently and my new roommates can't shut up about how great I am, so
Oh, that's good.
what are you doing?
I mean, do you do anything in particular?
I'm awesome.
Well, their cat likes him, which is a feat.
Yeah, they're abused rescue cat that doesn't like anybody
Uh-huh.
except the owner likes me.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's good.
He has photographic
That's a
evidence.
really good thing. Animals are generally a very good judge of character.
Except in
Don't
this
cats
case.
sleep next to you if you're about to die?
Mike, is cat sleeping next to you?
no, I keep the cat out when I'm asleep.
Okay.
The abused rescue dog, wiener dog, doesn't like me though.
I guess you're just not good with the wiener.
I don't know. I don't have any complaints.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Paul, what have you been up to?
Went to New Orleans Thursday night for a G11 special sauce concert.
Oh, cool. They're back.
Well, they never left.
I thought they had broken up.
No.
I heard they broke up.
No,
Okay.
they never broke up. I mean, G-Love has a solo career as well.
Okay, that must have been what I was thinking of
Yeah.
then.
And SMAGcast, if you don't know who G11 Special Sauce are, go out and listen to them. They're all over the place.
They did Fun Loving Criminals, right? Wasn't that one of their songs?
No, I don't think so.
Don't worry, Smagcast. I don't know who they are either.
I'm about to find out.
They're kind of like a bluesy band with a little bit of hip hop thrown in there, but not really hip hop. It's just his lyrics kind of have a flow to them. They're from Philadelphia, not the little one in Mississippi, but the real one.
That's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. It's in Wyoming. What else
I
can I
guess
say
that's
about
okay.
them? They're really good. They've been around for 20 plus years now. Got a bunch of albums. Do stuff with other people occasionally.
You've always liked them. I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, since I was
A wee nip.
about 19, 20.
Like I said, a wee nip.
Yeah. But yeah, the concert was really good. It was at Harrah's. Probably one of the best concerts I've seen of theirs. And one of the greatest things is I didn't have to drive back after the concert was over. Like I've done with all the other ones I've seen. Because nobody really comes to Jackson. They go to New Orleans. I've seen G Love and Special Sauce in New Orleans, Oxford, and Shreveport. And every time I've had to drive back that night and get, 3 hours of sleep before work.
Except for the
next day.
Giants concert.
Well, yeah.
You rode home.
Yeah. But we got a hotel room and, had a couple of drinks at the show, whatnot. We're like, let's walk down Bourbon Street because that's what you do.
Did you speak the language that night?
I did not have to speak the language that night.
Good.
But we're walking on down, it's just me and my girlfriend, because everybody else bailed. So we're walking down there, and you keep walking to a certain point, then you get to the gay district, where all the gay bars are. And that's the place to go and have a drink. Because there's these big rainbow flags, which make all the jocks go, no! And they turn around the other way. So consequently, all the drinks down there are cheaper. And the bars are quieter. Except for the 90s or dance music.
What is love?
Yeah.
Baby,
Well, they did. They were playing "Come On, Ride That Train."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we had that, but sat around in this bar talking to the bartender about him and his boyfriend, and how he's getting a diamond ring from the boyfriend. Something, I don't know. Comped us a couple of drinks. That's how I'm doing. Kevin, how are you doing?
I killed a horse in my comic and the internet hates me.
Ah, yes.
I killed Aloysius this week. And my favorite response has been, no, you didn't jest. Like, no, you didn't just do that.
Oh, I thought no, you didn't jest.
Surely you just. No, sure. Yeah, forget it. Anyway, point is, I killed a horse. Certain people were angry about
You've
this.
made children cry.
I have, in fact, made some children cry.
Yes.
Well, it's not like you didn't see it coming.
No, see, that's
Well,
the thing.
Kevin, yeah.
I've been saying for a while, people are gonna hate me when I kill Aloysius.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the original idea was
Yeah,
when you came up with. In fact, the idea was
When
to kill
I-
him before you even had the character.
Yeah, I was going to give Terry a talking horse that would help him get to where he was going, and then he would have to die. There are details coming up Monday. I don't
that's
want
why
to
I didn't
spoil
it's
that. I'll
very
explain
vague.
that next week during the solitaire. I will give my summary of the Irish folktale, which y'all found so bloody amusing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
But if y'all Googled Irish folktale and horse, you'd know.
yeah. But I just find it. I mean, every time you told me how many people love Aloysius, I was just like, "Yep, I know what's coming."
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, "They're gonna kill me. I'm not gonna live through this."
Heck, I think I helped inspire the idea to use that in the comic because you told me this story and I was like,
You need
"Dude,
to
you got to
put that-
use that."
Yeah, there
just
were
ridiculous.
several Irish fairy and folk tales that I was like, yeah, these have to go in. The only one
I didn't expect you to make such a production. I expected a month's worth of comics or something from.
Oh
that
no, you
idea.
can't just put a horse in and then kill it. You have to endear it to people. You have to make people love that horse, care about that horse, worry about that horse at night. Then you kill it. It's called sucker punch writing.
Yeah.
You make it seem like it's all fun and games until somebody dies, and then somebody dies.
Yeah. It's just like life.
Yeah, pretty
Don't
much.
have friends.
Hey,
Yeah,
life
screw
is
you
a
guys. I'm
somber
out of
and
here.
realistic standard.
That's the last SMAGcast.
We're all done. No, the thing that gets me is some of my friends online were like, dude, that came out of left field. I'm like, yeah, you mean like real death?
Yeah.
Shit kind of happens.
That's true.
So
Yeah, I mean, my dad just, there's no warning there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my mom, I kind of had time to.
Yeah, she was
wait.
in the hospital for a while.
Well, no, that's the thing. Before she went in the hospital, you know, she had cancer, and it was like, you know, you're just kind of waiting to see what happens. And then she went to the doctor. They put her in the hospital that day. About a week later, she was gone.
Yeah.
So
That was the most fun I've ever had at a funeral.
it was a terribly entertaining funeral.
Yeah. It was hilarious. People kept carrying me around going, look, we're pallbearers too.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that got me was, okay, certain portions of my family.
Was I a pallbearer?
Yes.
I think I was.
I was too.
You, Paul, Barry,
Max.
I
Max.
don't really remember much of the funeral.
Was Warren, were you one of the pallbearers?
I wasn't
I
there.
don't think so. Yeah.
I thought we had photos of you at the funeral.
I think there was like you had an uncle or something that was. It was like 5 friends and an uncle. We were just like,
That
who
was
are you?
Vaden, wasn't it?
No, Vaden wouldn't do it. Vaden left. Remember?
I just remember, like,
The whole town?
No, his name's Vaden.
Oh.
He left because they sat him next to his daughter.
So also, don't forget about the school bills, because while we were there, we're standing around inside of the funeral home talking, and then for some reason, a school bell rang outside of the funeral home, and Kevin, you and me, and then my ex-wife and her sister were like, oh, well, school or class is out, so we walked outside. And then about 3 minutes later, the bell on the outside rang again, and we were like, oh, class, walked back in.
I didn't remember that. I remember y'all passing the flowers.
Oh God, yeah. We were passing the all the flowers that went into the hearse after Kevin's mom did. Because ladies first, let's face it. It's the South. So, you know, I'm like in the middle, and it's like, okay, I get flowers from my right, I hand them off to the left, and it goes into the car,
hearse.
the death car. So
Fonzie's
Max
death
is
car.
standing next to me, and he's just passing me stuff, and then all of a sudden he passes me like a twig with like 5 leaves on it, and he's looking confused, and I just grab it, look at it, and look back at him, and then we start laughing, and I just hand it on down. And I remember you asking me at the burial what we were laughing about, and I had to explain that.
Austin was one of the pallbearers.
Austin was the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just remember one of your relatives that was a pallbearer was like some real tall.
It was a
mofo.
nephew or something.
I just remember he was like,
It was like a distant cousin or something that I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and my dad said at the funeral, you know, it's really appropriate that your friends were the pallbearers because she couldn't stand anybody else.
Yeah. I thought the eulogy was most.
Oh my, that was the stupidest eulogy ever. Now, in a situation where you've lost a family member, you can either drift away from God or get closer. I don't know. It's like in the movie The Perfect Storm. You'll all band together, and just like the people on that boat, you'll all survive. And I just lean over to my sister, and I'm like, didn't everybody die in that movie on that boat?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, okay, do not riff your mother's funeral. Do not start mistying.
I wonder if
this
there's
man.
beer on this.
Yeah, I know, because as soon as he said that, well, first off, the thing I had a problem with was like, it was the perfect storm. It was the combination of a hurricane and a typhoon. I was like, that's 2 different oceans.
Yeah.
But then he says, through the grace of God, they all survived. And I just went, what? No. And I started looking around, and everybody at the funeral in your family was looking at the priest. All of our friends are looking at all of our other friends going,
I'm sitting here looking around. I'm like, everybody's staring at him. Why am I the only one here that knows this is wrong?
oh, you weren't. It's just we were all further back.
Yeah. Well, what? You know, during the organization of the thing, my sister was like, "Oh, there's this Clint Black song we should play. Mama would have loved that song." And I said, "Cindy, the last thing she said before she went in the hospital was, I hate that goddamn Clint Black with a passion. Oh my god. You know, I hate to say this, but like, that's the only funeral I remember going to where she really didn't look any better embalmed than she did when she was alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
My grandfather didn't look like my grandfather at all. I was like, am I at the wrong place? Which happened to me once.
oh.
I crashed a funeral. It's when,
There was a movie about that.
yeah, it's when Scott's dad died.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, hey, the funeral is going to be at this one funeral home. And I listened to my mother. She goes, yeah, that's the one in Byram. And I said, oh, okay. So I looked it up on Google Maps. And I went out there after work. And I walk into the funeral home. And there's all these people and stuff. And I'm like, walking out. It's like, I'm sorry for your loss. And they're like, thank you. Did you know him? And I was like, yeah. It's my friend's dad. And I'm walking around, I'm like, I don't recognize anybody here. But then I saw this guy I know from Finian's named Carl. He's an old dude. He used to go watch Jim Flanagan play.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
Okay,
so I was like,
there we go.
oh, good, Carl's here. Okay, so I know who. Okay, I'm in the right place. I figured maybe everybody, all the friends are out the other door that I didn't come in. Just hanging out outside because funerals are depressing. Except for your mom's.
It was a cathartic funeral.
Yeah, so I walk in and I go up to the body and stuff, and I realize, oh, that's not Scott's dad at all. And I'm looking around, piecing it together. I'm like, wait, okay, maybe there's another funeral here. Did I just walk into the wrong one? And I start searching around and whatnot. Yeah, that was the only funeral.
Oh, great.
So everybody's like, how are you holding up? I'm thinking, fine. I don't know that guy. So I have to like stealthily make my way out. It became sort of like a role-playing game at this point. I'm like, how am I going to get out without them seeing me?
Metal Gear Funeral.
Yeah.
Solid coffin.
I botched my sneak roll. I'm glad he's dead!
Yeah. So I went outside.
Oh, you just knock over the wreaths, fall into the coffin.
It's like that scene from Clerks. Mm-hmm. You run out to the car, do the hood slide.
Yeah.
You knocked the body out of the casket.
Yeah, so I've crashed a funeral before.
Glad.
Got to the right one.
That's good. So, have y'all heard the news today about Fez 2?
No.
What?
Y'all know the game? Have y'all heard of the indie game Fez
I've
that
heard
was
of it.
released on Xbox?
No, I don't have an Xbox.
heard
Xbox
of it.
Live or whatever. This really big hit. It was in development for like 5 years and it got released and it was this huge hit. Well, they were starting development on 2, and the head of the studio got into an argument with a game critic. And he basically packed up his marbles and went home. He released a tweet and said, you know what? I'm done. Fez 2 is canceled. Then the company put out an official statement about 5 minutes later.
Jeez.
Well, the guy is known to be a dick.
His name's Fish or something.
Yeah, well,
When
when asked about
indie game the movie.
when asked about whether he was going to bring Fez to the PC, he said, "No, PCs are for spreadsheets and shit."
The hell?
Yeah,
And now,
did you design the game?
in Fez 2, he was saying we're only releasing it on the PC because he had such a horrible time with Xbox and
Yeah.
Xbox Live. So he's a douche.
Yeah.
And the
He's a-
game
he's a-
critic is also a douche.
he's a programmer, is what he is.
Sup, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So, Yeah,
That
basically it's two douche canoes arguing, and
you just wanted to use douche canoe.
yeah, I used
Yeah.
that earlier, but actually one of the guys I hang out with online suggested I talk about this because it's kind of interesting that a guy got pissed off at a critic and shut down a game.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, I know. Warren, would you ever do something like that with a mod? Somebody get pissed off and you just abandon it?
No.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I guarantee this guy likes money. He'll do something with it.
Yeah. I like money
Do
too.
something.
Money's good.
Speaking of video games, I just bought Shadowrun, the whatever it's called.
Okay, I was really expecting. I bought another copy of Don't Starve.
No, but I was singing tonight on the way here, don't let's starve. That is the worst part. Can believe for all the world that Willow is my little girl. Anyway, so...
Mike, you're over there. Hit him for me.
No.
We need a soundboard with sound effects so we can do that stuff.
I can make fart noises with my hands.
No.
That's it.
Well, fart noises with your hands, go for it. But no soundboard.
yeah.
No.
We need to be a wacky morning DJ show.
All right. So anyway, Shadowrun,
The something or othering.
which came out Thursday, and as soon as I saw that Steam had put it up, I was like, oh, I wonder how angry my girlfriend would be if I said, oh, let's just skip the concert. I want to play a video game. Turns out she said she really wouldn't be angry. But I played about 3 hours worth of it yesterday. And I told her, all right, look, this new game's coming out, so, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
You said something about that. I remember.
Yeah. But she sat there and watched it with me.
That's good.
Now that she's actually getting into role-playing games thanks to us.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so, all right, so that was the guy that did this thing. I was like, yeah. She goes, okay, so you got to go here now to do this. I was like, yeah. Okay, cool. I was like, wow, this is awesome. I can play video games.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things I like about Kit is, like, I'll get a new video game and, like, she'll come down and she'll be like, show me the video game you got.
Yeah. Well, my girlfriend plays Terraria with me and my son online,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun. And if anybody has Terraria around here, not the SMAGcast, but you guys, or SMAGpies, if you want to play, I got a map. It's called Awesome Boat.
Pulse the map, pulse the
map, pulse the map, pulse the
map.
No, I don't think I have it.
Okay.
I know I don't have it.
That's
Probably
a lot
should
of
have,
fun.
Honestly,
probably should have bought it on the Steam sale. But
Yeah.
I still want to get, I want to get back on Minecraft.
We could do that.
Because there's a horse update now.
I know. I have a horse in my.
I don't know how to get a horse. How do you get a horse?
You find them like animals.
Well, there's like 30 around my house.
Oh, just you can tame them. You don't even need anything special to tame them. You just keep riding them.
Yeah.
It, it helps if you have something to feed them.
I
But
have
but
like a crap load of
sugar
apples.
or wheat, or I think apples work
Yeah.
too. But you don't need that. You can just
Okay.
ride them.
'Cause-
You ride them dirty.
Yeah.
I pulled.
They'll buck you off, and you got to get back on that horse.
Yeah. You just got to get back on the horse, man.
Well, look, I went over to him. I was like, I wonder if you have to like feed him an apple. I don't know how this works. And I pull out an apple, and the horse. I swear to God, looking at him from the front, it opened its mouth. I was like, it gave me the awesome face.
Nice.
I pulled this digital
can't-
apple out.
But
Yeah.
you can't actually like ride them to go anywhere unless you have a saddle.
Right.
You can't control them. You can get on them, and they can walk around.
Can you
handle
make a
them.
saddle now,
No,
or
you gotta find them in the-
find them?
Yep.
But they are in a lot of chests
Yeah, we've got like
Dungeons.
and dungeons and stuff like that. You can
Yes.
also get horse armor.
Horse armor.
Now, I've heard
See,
a lot.
I just picture a dude wearing a horse.
Yeah.
I want to destroy you with my horse armor.
Yeah. No, there was some talk online on the Minecraft server. I forget who was saying it, but he has a theory that the lower the horse's health, the faster the horse goes.
Yeah.
And out of the several that I've tamed, that seems to be somewhat correct.
That is, because I've seen horses with a lot of health and they're slow as heck.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wow, you're fat. You're not going
I'm
anywhere.
gonna stab you. Wait, it's kind of like the end of True Grit, where he's just stabbing the horse's butt to get it to run faster.
Yeah. I only go so far, then you end up beating a dead horse.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, we could do another Minecraft server.
that would be fun.
I think so. I mean, horses are great.
We could, dude, the Something Dale 7-Eleven ranch or something.
Yeah.
We make a Something Dale ranch with horses and cows and things.
Yeah, I started a creative map and actually began rebuilding Something Dale.
Just so you'll have the map,
Just so I'll have something.
Dale.
Something Dale, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about why that's called Something Dale?
Because I said it should be Something Dale, and I came on the next night, and you bastards had put up a sign that said, "Welcome to Something Dale."
Yeah.
It's like deep
I thought I
blue
said that.
something.
Yeah, Deep Blue Something did the same thing.
Ah.
So it needs to be Deep Blue Something, and then
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Yeah,
And that's how things are named.
yes."
So, Activision Blizzard is buying themselves out. Any comments on that? They're
Well,
getting
Ouroboros.
they're buying themselves out of Vivendi.
Okay. That makes
Well,
more sense.
they got I don't know.
Still got Activision though. So
That's Call of Duty.
World of Warcraft.
that's your Blizzard and Activision.
Yeah, see, World of Warcraft is down to like 7 million users now
Oh.
from 8.3 a couple of months ago.
Well,
Well,
I never played that.
it's World of Warcraft. I mean, they're
And now they're going to start microtransactions.
Yes, I definitely wouldn't play then.
Yeah, and it's they're going
they
to
are-
bring in microtransactions and like game winning content.
but I think they're also going free to play though.
Are they?
Yeah, with the microtransactions, they're going to drop their monthly subscription.
I hate microtransactions.
Yeah.
As long as it's all right as long as it's not pay to win. As long as it's cosmetic.
Apparently, some of the stuff you get is like
I don't know the details about their.
I don't know all the
microtransactions.
details. This is
But as
just
long as it's
low
not
cover.
buy awesome badass armor.
Yeah, that's some of it.
I was listening to a news report or something. It
Buy
was
levels.
NPR, and they were saying how games nowadays that have the buy-in stuff,
Yeah.
they're a lot like slot machines. They're designed, you hear the flashing or the flashing sounds. You hear
The flashing sounds.
the flashing sounds, the flashy sounds, whatever. And you think you're doing something right, and it's like, well, okay, I want to keep this feeling because after a while it just gets a little bit harder without all the stuff that you have to pay for. But you want to keep that feeling going.
Yeah.
So then you have to keep doing microtransactions to get to the next level to keep going. And it's just a form of addiction.
Well, we were never really gung ho crazy like raids
Yeah.
and stuff. We would do like some instances, but we were never like gung ho crazy ape shit over it.
Well, yeah, it's like when we played City of Heroes
Yeah.
on Sunday nights. That was just more or less just
Well,
8 of us hanging out.
for some of us.
Okay, well, for some of us, yes.
For a couple of people, they scheduled their lives around it.
Yeah, Jacob, actually, his wife, the day that she had their first child,
She
So-
sent him home.
she sent him home because he had a raid that night, and she knew that the party needed them, and she was sad that she couldn't be there because she just had given birth.
This fucking baby's getting in the way of my.
Yeah. How am I going to reach level 80 with a child?
here's the question.
Latch on, kid, because I ain't holding you.
Just
Mama needs a hand for the mouse and the keyboard.
Yeah.
Get
Just get like a little papoose thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Let out a boob. There you go. See it when you're old enough to walk.
See you when you're old enough to raid with mommy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. How did they react when it went out of bit when it shut down?
they probably cried.
I've
Probably.
heard. I'm willing to wager they got the. They released the source code for the server.
Yeah, so you can have-
I'm willing to wager they have a server.
Surely
Probably.
they just jumped ship and went to another MMO.
I don't know. They're pretty serious. I mean,
Yeah, you like when Mike
Yeah, when I moved,
and he didn't have internet.
they were pissed off.
I said, well, he doesn't have the money to get internet right. Well, that son of a bitch needs to get his goddamn priorities straight.
Yeah.
No joking. And that was the last night I played with him.
Yeah. I did stuff by myself for a while, but
Yeah. Well, it kind of stopped being fun with that, and then, we never could get the momentum back, even when we made big feet and sweaty men's.
true. And I started the game back like a year and a half later because Fallout 3 had just come out, and I was all excited, and I bought a laptop that could run it because my PC couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And I had to go to the coast for a conference, a work conference, and I was going to be gone for like 5 days. I was like, well, this will give me something to do in the hotel in the evenings. And I get down there, and I'm all excited the first night and everything, and I open up my laptop, and I realized I left the disc at home. So I couldn't play Fallout 3. And I was like, well, what do I have on here that doesn't require a disc? Oh, God, I hope I have something. I hope I have something. Well, City of Heroes is on here. Oh, and it's the free-to-play week, too, so I don't have to pay. Well, okay, I'm set. And I started playing again, and by the end of the week, I was like, well, I think I'll just keep playing. I'll go ahead and get another monthly subscription for a little while. And yeah, that didn't last too terribly long.
Yeah, I couldn't get into, like, Old Republic.
Yeah, I played Conan the day it came out, and then the second day it came out, and then on the third day I uninstalled it.
You know, Brad worked on that.
Yeah. Yeah, our friend Brad, who also did a bunch of level design for Anarchy Online.
Yeah.
He's back in the States now.
Yeah, he's somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah, because he had to move to Oslo, Norway, which
Is where the company was, like,
where
headquarters.
the company was based out of. And he would come back like once a year, visit with his family and his friends and stuff like that. And he would always buy all of this stuff here and take it back with him. Because, like, here, a pack of cigarettes at the time was like $4.50. In Oslo, it was $25.
Yeah. Yeah, in Britain, they're like 20 pounds, which is like 30 or
Yeah, jeez.
$35. That's
Yeah,
like
I know.
$600 a month, 600 pound a month habit
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
smoking a pack a day.
Exactly. And, like, he said that he did a Mexican dinner for some of his friends over there. You know, it's a Mexican food, so it's cheap. But over there, for 4 people with just tacos and some burritos and I think a chimichanga or something, it was like $250 just for that dinner.
Damn.
I was
That's
like,
insane.
I was like, man, I'd like Mexican, but not $250 worth of Mexican for that little amount of food.
In South Korea, we got one of those bottles of like Smirnoff flavored vodka.
Mm-hmm.
It's like citrus or something at a restaurant, and it was like, I want to say it was at least $85. It may have been like $115. And I was like, I can get this for 10.
Yeah, exactly. This is Smirnoff. This,
Y'all want me to send you something? Yeah.
yeah.
I can make a care package.
Yeah, for real. That's nuts.
That is completely insane.
Well, it's probably, you know, really expensive because it's imported. You know, it's like our Irish friends and stuff will come over here and make fun of us because we're drinking Stella Artois, which in Ireland is like the cheapest beer you can get, and it's known as Bait the Wife, or Beat the Wife, because the poor people drink it and go home and beat their wives. Or that's the... They probably...
Yeah.
Well, I guess some of them do, but that's just kind of the joke, because that's like... what's some really cheap beer? It's like Natty Light for us.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over there, over here, their cheap crap is imported.
Yeah, exactly. They like Budweiser. I'm like, ugh. That's horrible beer. Like, oh, no, it's great. It's imported.
It tastes like America.
Yeah, like fat people. Oh, here's something interesting.
butter.
Speaking of fat people, girlfriend told me a thing she had read online the other day. Turns out Mississippi is not the fattest state in the union.
Mike, you said something about that, didn't you?
We lost that honor to
I think it's North Dakota.
something like that. Yeah.
And do you know why we lost it?
I
We're
think
not trying hard enough?
can't remember.
No. It's because when they're doing the polling, they call around to people, and people in the South are a lot more honest.
Oh, so we actually honestly answer.
We answered honestly, and the North did not. So when I guess they went out and started polling people, actually, instead of
Looking
just
at 'em.
cold calling and stuff, yeah, we're not the fattest.
Woo!
We're just the most honest. I just kind of found that pretty interesting. I'm like, well, I don't feel as bad. Just goes to show you that the South is okay, sort of, sometimes.
Some ways.
The people are nicer. So she has a friend who lives up north, and he's from here. And up north in bigger cities, people, when they walk, they look down because you don't make eye contact in like New York or someplace like that. You just don't do it for whatever reason. And there was this blind woman smoking a cigarette, and this other woman walking towards her texting ran into her and got the cherry on her shoulder or something, burned her coat, whatever it was she was wearing. And she gets really angry and then looks up to say something to the woman and realizes she's blind and just puts her head back down angrily and storms off. And the guy was like, if you just look people in the eye and say hello, stuff like that wouldn't happen. You just be nice. then you don't get burned by blind people.
Yeah, or if I were blind, I'd walk around with something on fire held out in front of me all the time.
Yeah, like a chihuahua.
I was thinking just like an Olympic style torch. Just
Yeah. Yeah. That could be an Olympic event.
Setting
Pedestrian
people on
burning.
fire. There you go.
Yeah.
So this week, Google has launched Chromecast, an HDMI dongle
I was
that
gonna
allows
say,
you to
We're already
Stream.
screwed for competition if they start a podcast.
stream
Tele-
stuff to
Yeah.
your TV.
Internet TV.
Yeah. Well, what it allows you to do is from the Chrome browser, you sync it with your browser,
Yeah.
and from your browser, you just push stuff to your TV.
Oh, that's cool.
$35.
Is that like monthly or just total?
No, that's the device.
Oh.
That's you can go on Google Play, buy it for $35. For the first day, they had with 3 months free Netflix because you can also do Netflix on it.
That's cool.
But they dropped that after a day due to super high demand. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, I was tempted to buy one if 2 days before I literally hadn't plugged my computer into my TV. So it's like in
Right.
the same room. It's like, I don't really need that, but
Well, see, I could do that, but my TV's so old that it just doesn't matter.
Doesn't have HDMI.
No,
Right.
it
'Cause,
doesn't.
I'll show y'all a picture of it. I mean, it's just
It looks
like
a
a USB
thumb drive.
stick, except it's got an HDMI port on it.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, all the hype about the Xbox or the Xbone and the PS4 and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't get into that because I can buy one, but then I have to buy a new TV as well. And I don't want to
Yep.
do that because I use my TV so infrequently that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Kevin, I was able to hook my TV up as a third monitor, but I lose the Aero visual stuff. All the transparency goes away because I guess
Is that a problem?
it makes it look less pretty.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to have transparency.
But I guess it's because the third monitor has to run off the embedded video card on the motherboard. So, but I can do it.
Cool.
I can even get audio through the HDMI.
Nice.
Hey, Warren, you got anything interesting to talk about? We've been kind of monopolizing this.
We got a soundtrack going.
I'm still
do.
alive.
Aperture science. We do what we must because
I
we can.
I just wikied Helen Keller, but that's
Oh.
because I'm insane. And in my search for clarity and people who speak the truth, it occurred to me that if I were deaf and blind, I wouldn't have much to, and I had learned how to speak and communicate with the rest of the world. I wouldn't have much to prove, and I wouldn't have any bullshit,
Yeah.
I would just say exactly what I thought about things. So now I'm like, does she have any books? 'Cause I want to see what she had to say about shit. Sounds like she was very radically left, which is fine.
I can kind of understand that. I mean, she has no need for corporate America or whatnot,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, her signature is really fascinating. For some reason, the way it's done, you're like, it makes me think somebody taught her to do that, and she never tweaked it. Or if she did, she tweaked it however she fucking felt like.
Yeah.
But there was no other input,
Yeah.
Somebody just taught her how to move her hand, and that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that reminds, speaking of that sort of thing, have y'all seen the pictures from Comic-Con where they got various comic book artists to draw Batman with their eyes closed?
No, I have not seen that.
It just looks like a bunch of first and second graders tried to draw Batman.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, the most amusing stuff from Comic-Con has been the Deadpool cosplayer
I love...
videos and GIFs.
My favorite GIF is the one where it shows a dude with Pedo Bear's head holding a sign that says free hugs, and Deadpool just comes up with a little girl and puts her hand in his and walks on it.
Yeah. I like Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool at cons is amusing.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently, what's his name that played Loki in...
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, he basically spoiled Thor 2 by completely reenacting it with action figures.
Nice.
Well, I've also seen pictures of him in full costume.
Oh yeah, he
on
came
stage.
out. He introduced the Marvel panel
Yeah.
as Loki.
Yeah. And nearly lost it several times.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because he's like, say my name. I mean, I'm in character. I mean, he didn't actually say I'm in character, but he starts like laughing to himself.
Brian, what's his name?
Bless it.
Singer?
No,
Adams?
the one from Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, he had a custom-made Walter White mask, full head mask, and wore it and went around Comic-Con before his panel, talking in a higher-pitched voice and just saying, "Yeah, oh, I made this mask myself," and then comes up on stage wearing it during their panel
And pulls them
and pulls them. I mean, you see it.
It looks like
like him, and then he pulls the mask off, and he doesn't have the beard, and he has hair.
Yeah.
so. He went around cosplaying as himself.
Apparently, Adam Savage did that as well.
Yeah, he's done. Well, he went around dressed as somebody.
Well, no, he went.
I know he's done that, but he also went as like he
other
had
stuff.
like a robot head on or something.
I guess this
Admiral
was.
Akbar, I think.
He's done that too.
Yeah, Matt Smith went around Comic-Con with a Bart Simpson mask on.
I saw that too. He had a blue. Here's something that got pointed out. You ever notice how in the show Bart is always wearing an orange shirt,
Yeah.
but in like merchandise he's wearing a blue shirt?
Okay.
I've seen him wearing an orange shirt. in
Yeah,
merchandise.
but like there's a lot of merchandise with him wearing a light blue shirt,
Yeah.
and Matt Smith was wearing a light blue shirt,
Ah.
and they've actually made jokes about it on The Simpsons.
Nice.
Bart, why aren't you wearing your blue shirt? I don't have one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, this is really non-spoilery, but some people have seen the 50th anniversary special.
Oh, really?
And
Yay, Doctor Who.
the description, imagine, like, however long it is, two overly caffeinated doctors running around, kind of... It's the doctor masturbating himself when you break it down, talking
Yeah.
about how awesome each other are. So,
Nice.
kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll have to see if I actually have BBC America on my crappy cable package.
You should.
Well, I got the basic package.
Oh, well, you can download it. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
You can get it without commercials.
That's always good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all go be public school students in California, in LA, so we can get free iPads.
I have a free iPad.
Okay, everyone else.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, apparently all 640,000 students in LA are getting iPads.
That's ridiculous.
I'm willing to wager Bill Gates has nothing to do with this because it's
'cause he's dead.
iPads.
or Bill
I
Gates.
just thought about that.
No,
Who'd
you
you
donated
think
the
of-
money through the
Bill Jobs.
Yeah.
Bill Jobs, Stephen
Bill and
Gates.
Melinda Gates Foundation paid for it. Wouldn't that be funny?
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Okay, so I
let's
got
see
a
here.
funny story.
Oh.
If anybody wants to hear a funny story,
Well, look,
Since
it's
that's-
story time. Paul's going to have story
yeah,
time.
this is something else in the adventures of weird things that Paul does. So,
Mike's killing me.
yeah.
Sorry.
He's just got this. We
Yeah.
need to put photos up of stuff like that. Anyway, your
Indeed.
story.
Okay, so story time. About a month ago or so, I guess. Girlfriend shows me video of this guy, which you guys have seen this, who is telling you the proper way to drink whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it on my SMAGcast because we watch videos after we're
Oh,
recording.
right, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Scottish guy, right? And he's like, okay, first you take the glass and then the whiskey, and you pour the whiskey in the glass and you swirl it around and then you throw it out, the whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, and right there, that was like, okay, well, this guy's nuts. No. He's like, you need a clean glass, a sterile glass. So you pour the whiskey back in and you swirl it around a little bit, and then you introduce yourself to it. And he brings it up to his nose and he goes, hello. How are you? So he's talking to the whiskey because the dude is nuts. Later on in the video, which is not a very long video, he is telling you the proper way to hold the glass. And he's got like one of those wine glasses, but they're tiny. I guess it's for cognac or something, or whiskey. And he says, you can hold it at the top like this, or you can hold it by the stem at the bottom. But then he cups it like you would a cognac, swirled around. He's like, but if I ever catch you doing, holding a glass like this, I'll fucking kill you. It's like, this guy's completely nuts. So, at work, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, they bought out half of our comp time. Just unbeknownst to me, that somebody mentioned it, like, hey, how much money did you get? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They said they bought out our comp time. And I was like, oh, cool, because I have a lot of that. So I ended up with, like, extra $600.
Neat.
Yeah. And I was like, well, let's go celebrate. So I went and bought this really tasty Scotch whiskey called Lafroig. It's their 10-year single barrel cask strength. And it's very peaty taste to it. So it's kind of like you're eating a campfire, but I love it. It's delicious and stuff.
So it tastes like burning.
Kind of. It's one of those whiskeys or scotches that you just have to get used to. It's an acquired taste.
Okay.
Like
So-
all whiskeys and scotches?
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, so
You're the man.
we're standing outside. We're having, we've got the whiskey there and the scotch, whatever it is, and the sun's setting, and we live near the water, and reflecting off the water and stuff. And I pick up my glass of whiskey and I swirl it around, and I remember the video. And we like to reference things here.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So I'm just standing there. I was like, that was a funny video to myself. And then out loud, I just said, I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, oh, wait, no, Braid, you forgot to reference the video. Quick, say something else to make it right. So I said, I hope you remember that. So from my girlfriend's standpoint, from her standpoint, we're just having a lovely moment, and I just say, I'll fucking kill you. I hope you remember that.
Did you stop her before she got out the door?
Yeah.
Explained it.
Because she looks up at me like, what?
So, tackle or flying tackle?
Yeah. Oh, man, I felt kind of bad. It's like, no, wait, that video you showed me.
The whiskey video.
Yeah, it's just,
Think about the video.
yeah, I can't imagine what...
Back pedal.
Yeah, I just can't imagine what she was thinking. Just all of a sudden, I'll fucking kill you. I hope you remember that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've been sitting on that story for 2 weeks.
Oh my god. You know what? We could end the podcast right now.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't talk about Britain trying to ban porn.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's really freaking stupid.
Well, Britain's weird anyway.
They are.
But the Queen of Kent, or
Words.
Kate, what's her name? Kate Middleton.
No,
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about that.
Just had the baby and everything?
Oh.
Yeah. I saw something funny about that. They're like, Kate and Prince, what is his name? I don't know.
William.
Prince William just had their
Prince
baby. It weighed 8 pounds, which is about 12 American.
So, I found this thing from a Reddit thread that someone had retumbled on Tumblr.
Okay.
And it was some scariest story you can tell in 2 sentences. Somebody posted this on Tumblr and it freaked me out.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about Warren's reaction. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, Daddy, check for monsters under my bed. I look underneath for his amusement, and I see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering, and whispering, Daddy, there's someone on my bed.
Okay, that's messed up.
Yeah. So I post that, and my comment was, okay, now I'm disturbed and frightened. Warren comes on.
Well, he reblogs it on Tumblr.
Yeah.
And I just see the way they do quotes is very specific
Yeah.
Yeah.
on Tumblr. So you're like, oh, here's a quote. And then you read it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, oh, Kevin reblogged an inspirational quote. Let me read this. Jesus fuck.
is exactly what he sent me on G Talk afterwards. Jesus, fuck! I was like, hey? And he said, Daddy? And I was like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
And then I read the entire Reddit thread and was like,
Yeah.
it was delightfully freaky. Although some of them were terrible, and a lot of it, was very bad writing, but good twists. Because that's what it is. It's like set up and then twist.
Right.
You know.
Oh, go ahead. I thought of my own, but you go ahead.
But yeah, a lot of bad writing, several good twists. It was pretty. It was worth the time to read.
Yeah.
I creeped myself out pretty bad.
I bet.
Yeah, the one I just thought of is a bad one. You know? Because I'm like, okay, what's the worst horror story you can tell in 2 sentences? And I was like, Mom, I'm home. No, you're not. You're dead.
Yeah. Well, that's the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, pretty well, kind of. Yeah,
Honey, I'm home. No, you're not.
you're dead. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Honey, I'm home. No, you're not. I'm you.
okay. That's his later movies.
Yeah, exactly.
What a twist!
Yes, with the twist, that was The Village.
Yeah.
Which was horrible in its own right.
I did notice a common theme after reading the Reddit thread.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 common themes. One was people who shouldn't be there,
Yeah.
which that one falls into, that
Mm-hmm.
first one. And the other one was buried alive.
Ah.
And they almost all fell into one or the other.
Well, that's Reddit. Because the thing I've always noticed about them is somebody says something and then everybody else repeats it.
I just wonder if those are explicit fears, like racial, human fears of like
They
something
are.
being where it's not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't like they were all the exact same.
Right.
It was just like, some of them were like,
Variations on a theme.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. What's the things they always do in horror movies? The scariest thing they can do is somebody's in the house, or the scariest part. You remember we saw the Mothman prophecies? Were you there? And the scariest part was where they like opened a door and you could just kind of see someone's silhouette in the mirror.
Yeah.
But nobody know that was like the freakiest part of the whole movie.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Well, that's how they always represent Slender Man in all these videos.
Which
and
is why
stuff.
he's so scary.
Barely seen from the corner of your eye. And
Right.
I love the conspiracy theories about Slender Man that say the something awful thing was a government plant because it's real.
Yeah, because goons have never screwed with anybody.
Oh no. You remember that time they messed with Coast to Coast AM with those edited photos from a camera found in the woods?
No.
Oh, I had those saved somewhere. It's like, there's weird things if you look, and there'd be like these little cat-headed spiders, like real tiny, in the background.
And the trees.
In the trees, or like what looks like a dude hanging by one arm like an ape.
Yeah.
It like maybe like the size of a few pixels in the background. Just creepy crap. Or like shapes barely glimpsed in the fog. It was all Photoshopped.
Yeah.
And the guy made them and just took them to Coast AM where everybody bought into it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he didn't get found out for sure until somebody was like, hey, do you have the higher res version of this? Yeah. And he accidentally posted the unphotoshopped one. And immediately posted shit. So
Nice.
that was the end of that. But it was a great run when it was going.
Yeah.
Speaking of creepy, do y'all remember the Scary Stories books that you could buy at the book fair in junior high school or whatever?
Are those the ones with the disturbing
The
illustrations?
extremely
I
disturbing.
never-
thought you meant
I never-
Richard Scary.
No. See, I never saw them myself.
Really?
They didn't have them when I was coming up.
Well,
They didn't have
they were
books.
banned in a lot of schools and stuff.
But like I see them on Something Awful all the time in the disturbing images there, because that one frumpy looking thing with a wide mouth and the scraggly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you y'all aren't
those
familiar
things.
with these?
No.
Oh my God.
Jackson Public Schools must have banned them.
They must have.
Well, I went to elementary
anyway,
school and
let's see.
junior high in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No, I don't remember those.
They always end up in this freaky image threads. On
I always
NSA.
loved the book fair and stuff when they rolled those big bookcase metal things that like opened up clamshell stuff.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
I hated the
amazing.
book fair because like I could never get anything.
Well, that too. I mean, and when they gave you those
Mom,
sheets
they're having
that
the-
like
yeah.
had the check marks and
Oh,
everything,
yeah.
I was like, oh, I want that, I want this. I couldn't get them. I barely ever got them, but you know, I
I
still
never
was always
get
like
anything from the book fair.
I sometimes did.
Our elementary school was
I usually
sponsored
pick
by
up
the
like
TV
one.
station that my dad worked for.
Well, it was always like, hey, Kevin, what did you get? Nothing. My mom's a bitch.
Yeah. But we were. Jackson Public Schools always had a thing. They had the Adopt a School program.
Uh-huh.
And ours was adopted by the TV station my father worked for.
Yeah.
And back then, the ratings were really good and they had a lot of money. Well, if you got good grades, yeah, we're number one.
Yeah.
If you got good grades, you got these things called key bucks because it was Key Elementary School. And I had good grades, and then at the end of the year, you could go to this auction. I
He
know.
bought a human finger. No.
There was an auction. You could also use the key bucks at a book fair
Okay.
as well, which was great. So I went to the book fair once and I bought Lego. Yeah, it was when Blacktron first came out.
Dude.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, the cool spacey looking.
yeah, the
black
guys all in
Legos.
black with a
Uh-huh.
black visor and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got the 3-piece one that would break apart, but it was like a space shuttle kind of thing, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had cargo bay and stuff.
I remember they used to have those in like the J.C. Penney Christmas catalog.
Yeah.
And that was like the best catalog.
Yeah, I
'Cause
always
you
wanted.
just like go through the toy catalog circling stuff.
I always wanted the Blacktron with the big wheels, the rolled over thing.
The
The
one,
mag-
the,
the-
one that could kind of articulate in the middle.
Yeah,
That was like this big.
had like 6 wheels.
Oh no, the 6-wheel one. I had the 4-wheel.
I think it was
one.
the something magnetizer or mega
Yeah.
something. I loved it though. I mean, I never had it, but my cousins had it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And
Everybody's cousin had it.
They didn't give a crap about it, but of course I couldn't have it.
Yeah, I had the Batrax from Blacktron, which was the 4-wheeled one, and it could kind of like bend in the middle, like
Yeah. This one had the arm that had the magnets. I think it was one of the first sets that had the magnets that you could pick
the
up.
first
stuff.
sets that had the magnets were M-Tron.
Hey guys.
This was after.
Maybe it was M-Tron.
It was probably M-Tron. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He had a point to that story actually.
Oh, really?
Well, we went off course, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, back in the land of Warren, tell us
Rewind.
about the freaky books.
This is actually old news, so plenty of people have probably already heard about this. But since y'all are totally clueless anyway,
Yeah.
well, the books had these really disturbing images,
Yeah.
and that was like they were always checked out of the library at school because
Everybody wanted to see it.
yeah, everybody wanted to see that shit. In 2011, they reprinted the books with somebody Hellquist, the guy who did Lemony Snicket's illustrations.
Yeah.
With him doing the illustrations. Well, there's this story. This is the only example I can find. There's a story in the book where this girl gets like a zit on her face, and it's just like this red bump, and she's kind of whatever. She has it for several days, and she's like, what the fuck? And then one night it pops, and all these little baby spiders crawl out.
Oh.
Well, here's a comparison shot of the original on the
Oh,
and the new one on the other side.
wow, that's creepy as hell.
The original is very creepy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, that's what the whole book looked like.
Really?
Everything was that disturbing.
Yeah, everything in it.
And the goons are always, they turned some of them into animated GIFs.
Of course they have.
Because fuck sleeping. You know, our library didn't have anything like that in junior high. You didn't go to Whitten.
No, I mean people's.
Okay. Whitten had some interesting books. They had a paranormal section.
Okay.
So if you ever want to know why my brain is full of useless information, it's because I would go in the library before a class and I would just read everything in the paranormal section.
Of course.
They had Mysteries of the Unknown Time Life books.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, they had Aliens and UFOs. I read the whole. I memorized the whole thing. I did a science fair project about UFOs and alien abduction.
Of course.
So
Yeah, you know how they always said you could get, the first one free from those series?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the first one free for that, and it was Witches and Witchcraft. That was the biggest crock of shit, worthless piece
that
of
was a
book I've ever
like.
seen.
Look, you know me. I read paranormal. So that was a piece of shit. The UFO one, pretty good,
Okay.
because I was into that.
Yeah, I
stuff.
saw an airplane the other night and I thought of you.
Saw a wart on my inner thigh and thought of you. No,
Okay, fair enough.
you thought of an airplane. You thought of me when you saw an airplane.
Yeah, because I was like, it's UFO. I'm Kevin.
Hey, you realize I'm like a major skeptic about this stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Frequently we'd be out, and Kevin would be like, see a light in the sky. He's like, I wonder what that is. I'm like, that's a plane.
Yeah.
well, there's like a certain level of I want to believe, so I can't believe anything.
Yeah.
So
That's understandable, I guess.
it's like, I really think it would be awesome if some of this stuff was real. I am not going to believe you until you show me proof.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, there's got to be life somewhere else in the universe. We can't be hidden. That'd be horrible.
They wouldn't come here.
Well, it's like that Twitter account, Shit My Dad Says.
Yeah.
One of the things the guy's dad said, which was absolutely hilarious, and it references that, is I think there are aliens, real aliens in the universe. They're just not coming here because that's like driving 1,000 miles to go to Arby's.
Yeah.
Well, the other problem is, unfortunately, the more I understand about physics and stuff, looks like just can't get anywhere, in a lifetime.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
interstellar distances are so far, and you just can't go fast enough to get there.
somebody
There's no gas stations along the way.
Yeah, somebody
Except for that
did make-
Stuckies.
Somebody did make a theoretical spaceship that could do close to the speed of light. It was a ring, and inside the ring was the spaceship. The only problem is the amount of power needed is the mass of our sun.
Well, I mean, there is we do have theoretical equations for a warp drive that's faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
The problems are, one, at first it looked like they would need like the entire mass of Jupiter instantly turned into energy to power it.
Right.
And two, the other problem was that it built up so much particles on the outside that whenever you stopped, anything in front of it would be instantly vaporized by this particle cannon, basically, of your ship.
I think that was the same ship because
That would
another
make a
scientist
really
went,
interesting
It's
weapon
the
in a story, though.
Abukari warp drive.
Yeah, I think that's the same one because another guy took the original like little ring theory. He's like, oh, if we elongate it slightly, then it only takes the mass of Jupiter to propel it. And I'm like, wow.
That's more feasible.
Actually,
We
no,
got
well,
9
original-
trips we can make, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, the original was the mass of Jupiter, and I think after the refinement, it looked like something that could be done, like something like several tons of matter turned into energy. But it's still, and then there's also
Sausage.
the any faster than light travel also breaks causality,
Yeah.
in that you can either have causality or FTL. You can't have both.
Okay.
So
Is that why
faster-
they all turned into milk in Star Trek 4?
But basically, if you go faster than the
gosh.
speed of light, it's basically time travel.
Well, yeah. I read a paper about that, about how Han Solo did the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the Star Wars universe, the Kessel Run is like from here to here, and it takes like 30 parsecs to do that. Because there's like a field of
Yeah, that's
something
You know,
like
let him finish, and I want to say something.
black holes or something, but he found a way through it, and the black holes propelled him, and that's how he was able to do the Kessel Run in the allotted amount of time. But it turns out if he does do that, if you apply actual physics to it and just go, well, sure, this happened, but here's why it would happen this way, he's actually older than the Emperor.
Can I just point out that you're basically talking about a physicist who could not stand the idea that George Lucas was fucked up when he wrote something?
Basically.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of funny because they're like, well, if he went this fast, then technically he's older than, this person. But if he went this fast, yeah, Han Solo is actually like 300-400 years old.
Yeah.
That would be funny
Because
if
of
that
time
were
dilation
true. Yeah.
of the wormholes. I'm not wormholes, black holes.
Yeah, black hole time dilation. Yeah. It's like, that's just. And then I got done with it. I was like, wow, I just read that.
Chewie used to speak English,
Right.
Chewie used to be a human.
but then he went mad.
Well, it's because, he's like 400 years old. He had time to shave.
Yeah. It's actually Jerry Garcia.
So me and Kevin had a bit of a discussion yesterday that,
Did we have a discussion yesterday?
yeah, that,
Who are you?
do we want to get into it again and let them in on it? The
Sure, why
Hollywood
not?
and Steven Spielberg.
Okay, well, here's the thing. The problem with that, the problem, Steven Spielberg basically made a statement that the tentpole blockbuster formula is going to collapse, and that you'll see maybe half a dozen blockbuster movies come out, stay in the theater longer, and the tickets cost more, and be more like an event like going to a Broadway show.
Okay.
The problem with his statement is right now it's looking like this summer, despite the string of bombs, is making more money than the last 2 years put together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're making more money this year than they did last year or the year before. And
But the movies aren't doing as well individually, though.
I know. But the Wolverine is looking to do well, which is blowing my mind.
Has it
'cause I
come out
don't-
yet?
Yeah, it came out this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, they did the Wolverine in Japan fighting ninja story and managed to cut out every ninja fight. And he fights a few Yakuza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the clip from him fighting on a train,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, this looks like crap.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of people were saying, yeah, there's two kind of fights: interesting, visceral fist fights, and then big CG set pieces that you have no investment in because it's all fake.
Yeah.
I read a little mini review that said basically it's like the first Wolverine movie.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I don't remember that one.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. The big
I
difference.
watched that one.
The advantage
I don't
I've
either,
read.
You missed nothing.
I
Yeah.
saw part of it, and who was that?
And Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, you're lucky.
You missed.
Nothing.
Yeah, they say the big advantage this one has is they didn't try to cram like every mutant in the Marvel universe into this movie.
Okay, well that's good.
And I think we may have read the same article where they said the first portion of the movie shapes the movie up really well,
Yeah.
and then it just completely fucking drops the ball halfway through.
Like I said, I just read a mini one sentence review was pretty much the same thing as the first Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, there's
This
good
is no
things about
different.
it, but there's a lot wrong with it apparently.
Yeah, so it's like, basically, it's like, yeah, I got a box of Twinkies, and you open it up, and it's roaches.
No, it's like if you bought a box of Twinkies and you're eating it, and every fourth one might have a roach in the filling.
Okay.
Because once you hit that first roach, you're done, and you're not going to look to see if the others have them.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And
Okay.
also, even if I could eat Twinkies, I would never do that now.
Yeah.
Because I would be thinking that the whole time I'm eating Twinkies.
See, that's the great thing about me being a diabetic. I'm like, well, it's a darn good thing I'm diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darn good thing I got a soy allergy.
There was something else where, yeah, I hate to defuse that conversation, but apparently the numbers are proving everybody wrong. So
Well, yeah, but even if they are making money, they're still.
yeah, it's.
I mean, maybe as a total of box office revenue, it's up, but there are the big tentpole movies
Aren't flopping.
making their money back.
Yeah, like the Lone Ranger.
Oh, God, I do not want to see that.
R.I.P.D.
Oh, you mean Men in Black with Jeff Bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, okay. That one looked just so campy that I would actually watch it. Not
Yeah,
in
no,
the theater.
that's a Misty thing.
Yeah,
We're gonna watch it and make fun of it, kind
It
of.
also mentions After Earth, which was the
Oh my God, that's
Will Smith
the movie Will Smith bought for his son.
yeah.
Technically, that's where Will Smith bought M. Night Shyamalan and made him make a movie for his kid.
Yeah.
White House Down.
Who?
Well, it's Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerichsen.
Yeah.
Did you say Brick House Down?
White House Down.
Oh.
It's terrorists attack the White House.
It's another film where Jamie Foxx does not headline.
Okay.
And Channing Tatum is the
Really?
headliner. Yes.
I liked your review of what was it, Pacific Rim,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, Pacific
from
Rim,
your
the other one.
My blog.
Yeah, your one-off SMAGcast thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting there listening to it, and by the end of it, I was like, oh, I should go watch Pacific Rim because it's a horrible, horrible movie, but it's not that bad.
Well, no, there's stuff wrong with it, but it's really enjoyable. You know, it's a
Yeah.
fun movie.
Yeah.
But there's some problems.
Well, yeah.
I still think that this will end up being kind of like The Fifth Element at some point for certain people.
Yeah, when you said that early on in your thing, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then by the end of it, I was like, well, that sounds horrible.
It's not horrible.
I don't know. It didn't. I don't think it has the impact that to an individual. I don't mean as a movie goes. I mean it doesn't. It didn't make me. It didn't move me the way The Fifth Element did. When I first saw The Fifth Element, I was like, that movie was awesome.
Yeah. Well, somebody out there has seen Pacific Rim and said that.
Yeah, but
There's you got to remember, we're not in the key 18 to 35 anymore. I'm sure there's people in that 18 to 35 they're like, this is awesome.
yeah, but you could say that any movie probably, or every movie has probably had that one person at small
Feeders. This movie is awesome.
But I just don't think it has the widespread. It doesn't have the.
Well,
It's,
yeah.
It won't become a cult classic because
Yeah.
it probably doesn't appeal to the smarter individuals
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah, there's certain lines in that movie that turned me, Mike, and Austin off.
See what the Fifth Element did right, is that it knew it wasn't hard science fiction, so it didn't try to explain anything.
Right.
It left it up to just being a movie.
Also, it had some
It didn't-
really good actors
Yeah.
in it.
Well, that too, but it didn't try to say, "Oh, this is how they're."
Yeah, why do the
Engines
ships have
work,
rainbows spit out the back when they jump into warp? I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
See, that was my other thing in my Fifth Element review was they just plunk you in the world and explanations be damned.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and
Just run with it.
I mean, you have a bunch of Jamaicans cleaning off the bottom of a spaceship of
Float.
parasites and
That-
refueling it with some big glowing canister of radioactive something or
And they're
other.
smoking
But-
doobies while
But
they do it.
don't try to tell
Explain
you, oh, this
why.
is uranium-336 we're putting in there or something.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim.
Let me explain why the Jamaicans are doing this.
Pacific Rim unfortunately tried to explain how big robots work and how you could have giant monsters.
Because they're targeting the demographic of people that are not like us, who
Well,
need
no-
things to be explained as to why it do that.
Well, and here's the other thing. And I don't think it's a big spoiler to say the one line that made all three of us go, wait. No, talking about the main robot, Gypsy Danger.
Yeah.
They've all got weird.
Yeah, names.
They've all got weird.
With that.
Yeah, I don't have
Gypsy Danger!
Gypsy Danger!
Yeah.
But no,
They're, okay, one of the
It's-
monsters
we-
does an
EMP.
EMP and shuts down, the robots that are attacking it.
yeah, I can do it.
Of course.
Gypsy Danger's analog. It's nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the thing. Like nuclear means it's made of clockwork.
Yeah.
But see, the problem, the thing is you could have easily went another route without having to explain any more.
It's
Because-
shielded.
Yeah, they could have said, because it's an older, giant robot at
They
this
could've
point.
said it was like hydraulic or
They
something.
could have said it's wrapped in bullshitium.
Well, they could have just
I
said
would've
that
bought it.
it's one of the older shielded models or something.
Yeah.
Because it,
Yeah, they
at
didn't
the
have to
time it
get
was
all
the ones
analog
the ones that got EMP'd were newer, slicker models.
Yeah, it's kind of like Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the vibe they were trying to go for. You know, where the Galactica was okay because it didn't have Wi-Fi apparently.
Yeah.
But no, they went the analog nuclear route, which was a major
Even though
head scratcher.
in the cockpit there's lights and computer displays and heads up displays
And
and
GLaDOS.
projection and you're like, that's not analog.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
fuck
in
is
this. Analog is you're controlling it with big gears with cogs, and there's steam coming out.
Yeah.
Pistons and.
It has a fucking ion cannon. That's not analog.
No, it's not.
No.
No, it's like. Oh, fuck it.
Well,
It's a fun movie.
yeah,
Okay.
it is worth seeing. I'm not going to
Yeah,
say
it's worth seeing, but you're gonna call shenanigans on a few things.
Yeah. I usually do in most movies nowadays.
I was going to say what I thought was the coolest part, but I don't think I should spoil it.
Well, you know what? Oh, spoil it for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have said it's shielded with love.
Yeah.
That's
They
it.
run on love.
Hey, well, they could have. With the two pilots, they could have said it Run on Love.
Yeah.
And I would have bought it.
You'll be fine if I spoil something.
You know me. I
Would
can't
you
remember
be
what I had
okay?
for lunch yesterday.
Do you want me to not say anymore?
You can say whatever you want. I don't care.
I thought it was badass when it pulled the swords out.
Oh, yes.
Like Voltron?
Sort of.
Yeah, kind of like a.
It was kind of like a cross between Voltron
And
when
Sulu's
sword and
katana.
the first Star Trek movie.
If they had played the Voltron theme during that scene,
Yeah.
I would have shit my pants, but they didn't.
That's good. Because you don't,
Want to shit
patrons
your
of the
pants.
movie theater do not want to be there when you're defecating on the seat.
Oh my god, I lost all bowel control. Yeah.
but it
That's
is
because your bowels are analog.
I don't think it'll
My
be.
bowels are analog.
Well, I do not think it'll be as significant as
nuclear.
Kevin thinks, but I do think it was a interesting movie.
Yeah. So,
Well, in another movie thing we kind of touched on earlier, the book that is making all movies the same.
Save the Cat.
The last book on screenwriting you'll ever need.
Okay.
It's apparently
It's
a
a
book
very popular book.
screenwriting
It started
technique.
out. Yeah, it's on
Guidebook.
screenwriting technique and script structure,
Okay.
story structure in film. And Greg was using it as a textbook for
Yeah.
his stuff for a while, and he started to deviate from it.
And Greg, by the way, is our friend who writes
And
movies.
yeah. Anyway, Greg was reading it and using it, and then he started going to the movies. He was going beat, beat, beat. This is structured exactly like Save the Cat said. And every movie almost is structured like the book says. So every movie, that's why they're all the same.
Huh.
Yeah.
They're all going by that book.
This guidebook came out in 2005, and apparently
He's dead now.
Oh, the guy that wrote it.
Yeah, he's
Oh, I
dead
thought you
now.
meant Greg.
No, Greg's dead. Yes, Greg's
But-
dead.
He was like, I'm going to write this. Fuck the world. I'm out.
Yeah. Fuck Hollywood.
Oh, so he's like a game developer with a bad review.
And apparently, everyone's adhering to this guide now.
Well, here's the thing. If
Does
done,
it also say every time you make I Am Legend, change the fucking ending? Because they keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The basic idea, if the book was being used by, say, a couple of writers, that would be different. Because it is a really useful book.
Okay.
For if you're getting started
Apparently.
screenwriting. The problem is every screenwriter is using it now.
Yeah.
So they're all formula based. So
That's not good.
not really.
I mean, could you imagine if painting was that way?
Some people wish painting was that way.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Bob Ross had a formula, but not everybody uses Bob Ross.
It doesn't look like anything when you're up close.
Well, lots of things don't.
Yeah.
You look terrifying up close.
Yeah.
Was anybody got anything else?
I think that's about it for me.
Okay, well,
I
I'm
got some
done.
videos.
I saw
did too.
Superman.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex?
What?
There's a famous you know, the whole idea of Superman blowing his load and shooting out Lois's back like a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's from a essay written in the 70s called Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex.
Okay.
So every time I heard Man of Steel, in my head I was finishing Woman of Kleenex.
Okay.
So I've just started doing that.
That really didn't make any sense.
The movie
No, the
Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex.
The
thing.
analogy?
shooting out, like, it's
Well,
liquid.
you gotta remember
It's,
this
it's
is
not
70s.
hyper massive, you know.
No, but you gotta remember it's the 70s. Everything he did was over exaggeratedly super powerful. He'd sneeze and blow a wall down, so you could just assume it would be like sticking a shotgun inside Lois and pulling the trigger. This was the 70s when, you know, when they had crazy shit like a horse getting turned into a sausage and Superman riding it off, which was on the cover of one of his comics.
And fluids can be,
Hyper propelled?
yeah. I mean, they use water jets to cut fucking steel. I mean, admittedly, they do add an abrasive to it, but it's still.
And he has abrasive in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, admittedly, you know,
We're talking about this.
Yeah. So Warren,
This
this
is-
is Man of Steel.
That didn't happen.
30
Yeah.
Okay, good.
cc's of goop flung.
I enjoyed it. I can see why other people might not have enjoyed it, although it did make like 680 million so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, they've already greenlit the sequel.
people are watching it. There was one part that kind of annoyed me, but I don't know. Like, some trucker like throws beer on him.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a spoiler. This is
A thing that
establishing crap, you know.
Yeah.
In the first half hour or whatever. Actually, the first hour, because the first half hour and actually almost the first hour takes place on Krypton,
Okay.
like a big chunk of it.
happened. And that's where the trucker is.
Well, anyway, he gets, you know, and he does his humble pie thing where he just sits there and takes it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the trucker goes outside, like, there's like 30 light poles stuck in his truck. No, they're not light poles. He's a logging trucker.
Yeah.
And all his logs have been shoved through his truck. And I was like, I don't know. That doesn't seem very Superman.
That's an asshole thing.
That's like, yeah.
That's
I mean,
Zack Snyder's Superman right there.
Yeah, that's like, you know, some dude does that to you and you go outside and key his car up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a dick.
Superman doesn't do that shit.
yeah, it annoyed me. It felt very out of character. And
They say there,
I've heard-
and I don't know, maybe
yeah.
you can answer this. They say there's several things like that where you're just like, Superman wouldn't do that. Like the thing at the end of the movie.
well, the thing at the end of the movie was set up to be a no-win situation. So
Oh, the Kobayashi Maru.
yeah, it was basically yeah. Although there are really interesting aspects of the movie. Zod is not really a bad guy. He's just doing what he was made to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and a lot of what Zod's trying to do is not bad, you know. But the way he goes about it is all fucked up. So, you know.
Okay, yeah.
There is an extended sequence at the end where they're punching each other through buildings, and I'm like,
Everybody flinched at that, I noticed.
yeah. Well, there are apologist explanations like Zod's not stupid. If Superman had like flown out of Metropolis, Zod would have been just like, well, I'm just going to tear all these buildings down until you come back, you fucker. There wouldn't have been any drawing him away to the Fortress of Solitude. He's not the Terrence Stamp, I'm so full of myself that, you know, I'll do stupid shit and then, you know,
Yeah.
and then believe that you'll step into your red kryptonite
Right.
chamber and whatever.
Let's not even talk about that.
But it does go on for a long time, and you're like,
Could have at least had him try to,
Yeah, they should have him try to leave and Zod start
or at least
tearing
try
some
to
buildings down.
mitigate it. But the fact that he's just duking it out in Metropolis,
Yeah, well,
wrecking shit
what
up.
it does is it takes the.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard lots of.
It takes some of the impact of the of the final choice out, because it's like, that's just 4 people. You just blew up 50 buildings, after that punch.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about these 4 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like everybody managed to get out of those buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I see movies like that, because I work in emergency management, I always think, oh God, the paperwork and the man hours and what it's going to take, how they're going to have to harden it against 1 hurricanes but 2 Supermen.
Well, I'm sure Mima was flattened during that.
That should be the next Marvel thing, with
Damage
Shield,
damage control.
something like that. But
Yeah.
you know,
They were gonna do a movie of that. That's one of my favorite concepts for Marvel is the cleanup team, damage
Yeah.
control. They're a private corporation. Every superhero has an account with them, and the assumption has always been the Marvel heroes aren't gonna be taken down by a supervillain. They're gonna be taken down in the legal system when damage control finally comes to collect the money.
Which is what the Incredibles was about, sort of.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I always liked that movie just before that. I'm like, oh, well, look, real life, people get fed up with everything getting destroyed.
Yeah. And the guy trying to kill himself and he saves him and he sues him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, there's the whole thing about people have said The Incredibles is kind of Watchmen for kids.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I was
Similar.
thinking on the way over here, is like, who would win in a fight between Dr. Manhattan and Superman?
Dr. Manhattan.
Exactly. He just and
yeah.
Superman would disappear.
Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Manhattan was a god.
Yeah. I mean, what did he say at the end of the story? I'm going to go make a universe.
No, he said, I'm going to go create my own life somewhere else.
Yeah, which... Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you people.
I know. When people get into conversations about, like, which superhero would you be? Oh, I'd be Superman because of this. Or I'd be Batman because I'd be smart. I'm like, no, I'd be Dr. Manhattan.
Because you'd be blue.
I'd be blue and naked, blowing people up.
I always...
I don't know.
somebody-
He seemed kind of bored at the end.
Well, that's
yeah.
why he went to go be a god somewhere. But I love all the comics that have been done where it's like kids say, I want to be Batman or I want to be Superman. And then you see the parents, why do you want me dead?
Yeah.
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 And that's pretty much every superhero is a fucking orphan.
Yeah. It's like that joke where a kid's on the beach and he finds a lamp and he rubs the lamp to get the sand off and a genie pops out and he's like, I will grant you one wish. And he's like, I want to be Batman. So the genie shoots his parents.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good.
No, keep going. We'll do like
Fuck it, 6 hours.
yeah. We'll just cut it up and we won't have to meet for like a month.
We may
Or
do
Smag-
that sometime. But
Smag videos are gonna be like, all right, here's my Smag videos. They're 9 hours.
Hey, welcome to this week's SMAGcast. I'm Warren, this is Kevin, that's Paul, and that's Mike.
good night, everybody.
The current date is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Go!
It'd be like those voice systems when you call in to pay your water bill. And
yeah.
The current date is August 19th.
Ezekiel's boulder is jammed.
Matthias is dead. Well, that's about it for this week. So, final thoughts, Warren.
Charlie.
Candy Mountain, Charlie. It's the Candy Mountain.
Okay. Final thoughts, Mike.
I really don't poop that much.
Final thoughts, Paul.
I do poop a lot, but I drink a lot of water.
I'm regular now.
Thank you, Kevin.
Dry
Okay.
waffles.
Try waffle.
Waffles.
All over the place. All right, well, we'll be back next week with another group solitaire. So until then, stay smaggy. Bye. This has been the SMAGcast. If you have any thoughts or questions, you can email us at thesmagcast@gmail.com. Our theme music is Out of School by Jazar from the album Traveler's Guide, which is available from freemusicarchive.org and used under Creative Commons license.